Okay, looks like we're on. I know I had one person waiting to join in. I don't know who it was. And the only way I can tell is if you enter something in the chat. Because I can't see you, but you can see me. So whoever you are, put something in the chat. And then also let me know if you can hear me okay. That's pretty important. Hello, who are you? We're going to talk about your bucket list, your fishing bucket list tonight. See what you got on there. See what you still want to do. See what you did. Stuff like that. I have mine right here. I'm ready to go with that. So, who are you? I know you're sandbagging out there. And this is only my second time on live, so I'm getting used to controlling the screen and the different things that you got to do here. And I plan on being about an hour. But I don't just want to talk about my bucket list. I want to see what you got on there. And even if it's a bucket list that isn't necessarily fishing, that's okay. Let me know what it is, and maybe we can fit it in there, and it'll be something interesting. So right now I'm waiting for somebody to enter something in that chat. You have to be logged into your YouTube account in order to use the chat. So if you don't have a YouTube account or you're not logged into it, you're not going to be able to talk to me. I'll just sit here and drink my coffee in silence. Ah, yes. I got my little heater here that I use for ice fishing. That's keeping me nice and toasty down in my cold basement. If you're on, but you're not able to chat, but you know my instant message thing, send me a message. Let me know who you are. Let me know who you are on there, because I would like to know who's sandbagging and who's lurking in the shadows. Last time I did it, we were just talking about general stuff, but I had I think 5 or 6 people come in, a couple of people that I knew, some I didn't. So I'm hoping this goes a little better. We shall see. I tried to pick out a good time that people might be available. Last time I did it like at noontime or something in the middle of the day. Now at 6:30, I figured a few more people would be able to get in here and say hi and join in the conversation. So who are you? Aha, there it is. I think I know who it is. It's on your TV. Well, that's okay. I think if you put it on your phone as well, on your YouTube account, you could chat. So try that. You can. Anyway, it's hard to talk to somebody when I don't see what they're saying, and I can't follow you on my phone. It's too complicated. So hopefully we'll get a few more people in here shortly. Right now, I'm assuming that you guys know. Wait a minute. I'm assuming that you guys know what a bucket list is. It's a list of things that you have that you want to do in your life, and it can be anything, you know. And of course, on yours, I know would be go to Disney World every year. Even though you've been there every year, you'd still like to go to Disney World every year. I know that. Who come in here? Fishing and cooking with Jose, I guess. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining us. And I hope I said your name correctly. We are talking about fishing bucket list. If you have something on your list that you've done or something on your list that you really want to do, let us know there. We'll see what we can figure it out. I do appreciate you coming in. There's a couple of people watching that can't chat right now. So you're the only one in right now that can chat. Yeah, let's see. We're on, but I can't. Yeah, I know that. Anyway, okay. So, give me something off your fishing bucket list. It looks like you do some cooking, so maybe a certain recipe you want to try, or a certain recipe that you've tried that you've served your family and really enjoyed. That'd be okay to check that out a little bit. I'm sitting down here in my basement where I have all my fishing memorabilia from ice fishing right in back of me, freshwater fishing, just anything to do with fishing. I got my tackle boxes here, my lures, things like that. I guess I don't know if it's Jose or, not sure how you pronounce it. Anyway, where are you from? Which state are you in? What country are you in? You could be in any country too. Let me know in the chat, because I can't read your mind. I'm just going to stare at you. All right, on my bucket list, which I started quite some time ago, the first thing I did, and I got a lot of stuff that's already checked off. Wait, I'm getting a text from somebody. Let's see, which goes. Hang on a minute. Yes. That's good. Okay. On my bucket list, one of the first things I have when I was very, very young, it says find someone to fish with. And I did that when I was 7 years old. I found I was new to the neighborhood, and I found a guy who who asked me if I wanted to go fishing, and I took him up on that. And me and that person, Rick, has been fishing all our lives together. Although he doesn't live close by now, we have fished since we were 7 years old, and I'm 76, so that's you can do the math. I see Wendy is in. Thanks for coming in, Wendy. I'm glad you figured out how to get in on the chat. Let's see, go fishing and find a hidden treasure. You know what? That's interesting you said that, because I was over at the local lake, Marsh Creek Lake, I don't know, probably 20 years ago. And I was fishing from the shoreline, and I was walking in the water with my hip boots, and I kicked something that was kind of shiny, and I dug around a little bit and pulled it out of the rocks and the mud, and it was it was a silver teapot, maybe about 10 or 12 inches high. It was pure silver, and I don't know how it ever got there, although the lake was flooded the lake was made in 1970 and 71. Before that, there was quite a lot of activity from, I'll say, the mafia in and around that area. So whether or not that has anything to do with that or not, anyway, I got this teapot, I brought it home and cleaned it up. I took it to a flea market one day and sold it for $325. So that was the treasure. Who else do we got in here? Jersey, hey, thanks for coming in. I was looking for you. I knew you'd be around sooner or later. We're talking about what are we talking about? Oh yeah, fishing bucket list. So if you got something good, whether you've done it or whether you still got to do it, let's find out about it. I was just going over one of mine, find somebody to fish with, and I was explaining that I did find a guy when I was 7 years old, and we've been fishing ever since. So I found a good fishing buddy. Yeah. Looks like Sam. It looks like you can chat through Wendy's account, so that's okay. That'll work. There we go, Jersey. Sorry, I had to make the grocery run and get water. Yeah, you got to eat and you got to feed your dog, or life is a little tougher. Fish on Ed Evans. Thank you very much for coming on, Ed. Appreciate that. I know you probably have a bucket list of things you've done or want to do. I took the water temperature today. It's 51 degrees, so it's up just a little bit. But it was cold, so I don't think it got any higher. My bucket list. Let's see what Jersey says. My bucket list is to go to Europe and Spain and fish for Wells catfish. I never thought about that. They are monstrous darn things. You always see the guys holding this big thing or even holding it in the water because they can't lift it up. That would be quite a trip. Might cost a few bucks, but if you can get into the Wells catfish, you'd be a very lucky guy, and I'd make some video. Wells catfish. I've seen that on what's that guy that does monster fishing for monsters or something like that. He's been after them. What's that show called? I can't think of it. Jersey, you probably know. You know who. Eddie, you planning on getting out chasing those flatheads in the next week or so? Rude MTZ. Don't know who you are, but thanks for coming in. I do appreciate you joining us. We're talking about your fishing bucket list, what you've done, what you got to do yet, what you hope to do yet, things like that. So if you got something, throw it up there and we'll kick it around a little bit. Butterflies and sunshine. And I think, let's see, if I remember right, your name's Linda. I believe I got that. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate seeing you here too, you and Ed. Put some time aside to join in, and I appreciate that. That's the only thing on my list. That's the only thing. School temp, I believe, is 51. Yeah, Jersey. I took it today. I was out there with Bob and Steve, and it is 51. But this weather we have ain't going to get it much higher until the weekend. Squinting here to read the chat. Well, let's see. Where's the subscriber of Stephen Buck? Yeah, I kind of figured he was because the people on here are kind of all intertwined somehow or another. Most of them, anyway. You know, on my screen, I cannot see how many people are here. I don't know where to look for that. So I've got to guess at how many people actually come in. River temps here in the Raritan. Where's the Raritan, Jersey? Is that New Jersey, I guess? I've heard of that. I've never been there. Oh, I have 7 in. Hey, great, thanks. That's a record 7, all right. You guys are probably in the same room and you're saying hi to each other. Got the boat ready yet, Ed? I'm going to stay on for about an hour, so 7:30 or so we'll get out of here. Just enough to have a little fun. My bucket list, I'll talk about that a little bit, since you guys apparently haven't found your list yet. My first thing was find someone to fish with, and I did that. I talked about that. Second thing, catch a fish. Well, that's probably an easy one. Most people that get into fishing when they're a little kid catch a sunfish or a catfish. I think my first fish was a catfish. So I checked that off my list, but that was a long, long time ago. Yes, sir, it's a river here that drains into Raritan Bay and then the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. Never been on it. Boat's just about ready. If that invite is still ready to fish with you some night, leave that open, and perhaps I will be able to do that if the invite's still there. But you got to promise me that I catch a PV bigger than butterflies. That's it. I don't really have a bucket list, but I'd like to break my PB this year. Holy mackerel. You're really shooting for the stars here with a 40-pounder. I hope you get it. I hope you do. There's got to be one in that river, and probably bigger. I know all the bait that Steve and Bob's throwing in there that they're eating and not catching. They're eating all that bait. They're getting bigger and bigger. I'm going to hit the Schuylkill this weekend, but might hold off another week. Probably a good idea. Steve got a 12-pound channel this morning. I think Bob got skunked. So, yeah, hold off another. This weekend's supposed to be real warm. That'll warm the water up. Maybe, hopefully, get the flatheads moving. Let's see what else is on my bucket list. Maybe I can get you guys moving. Oh, catch a big fish is number 3. So, that was probably, back then, probably a carp would have been the biggest fish I caught at that time. But those first couple times, they're when I was very young, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years old, just getting into all this stuff. Let's see, I'll definitely land on the invite as far as you getting one bigger than butterflies. Yeah, I know it's based on luck, and I'll bring my 4-leaf clover and my rabbit's foot and anything else I think is lucky. Thank you, I'm glad. Yeah, 43. Jersey, was that out of Schuylkill or somewhere in New Jersey? Hope you raise that. My biggest one's 30 pounds. I can't complain about that. I got that a few years ago. Going for gar, big catfish, gar. Gar would be neat. They got a lot of teeth there. You can't lip land them things. I was down in Sandy Cooper one year, and that place is full of big gars. It's the first time I ever saw them, and they got the big long snout with the crocodile-looking teeth. Holy mackerel. They are nasty-looking things, but I'll bet they give you a good fight. Bucket list. Okay. I'll go to my bucket list. Number 4 on my bucket list would go ice fishing, and I completed that back in 1978. No, wait, you know what? It might have been, it was 78. I got out of the service, hooked up with my fishing buddy, Rick, and we decided to go ice fishing. We didn't have much gear, but we went. So, boom, 1978, first time ice fishing. Let's see what else was going on here. Fun to catch? Yeah. I'll bet they are fun to catch, Rude. I would love to catch a 43. Geez, butterflies, how come you're setting your limit at 43? Go for 45. What the heck? Make it a round number. I know you can do it. You got a good guide. Schuylkill, where I got you guys. Yeah. I gotta fish a little bit more at night this year for them. Because I know they run better at night, and whereas I know they run a little bit closer to the shoreline at nighttime, looking for whatever they look for. So we're ending up talking about flathead catfish, and that's okay too, and that's a good subject. Schuylkill, we're gonna usually fish the Schuylkill one night during the week to stay out of the local waste. Yeah, the weekends, I kind of leave that to the locals myself, or I'll go someplace where there are no locals. That's hard to find anymore. Let's see. You want to catch? Really, you want to catch a gar? one of the things on my list was to catch a 10-pound walleye. Number 6. So I did that. I was ice fishing up in the Bay of Quinte in Ontario, Canada, in probably 93 or 94. And we were getting a lot of big walleyes. And the biggest one I got there was 11 pound, 4 ounces. I had him mounted. And one day he fell off the wall and broke in half. I threw him away. But I do have a picture of it. 11 pound, 4 ounces. That's a big walleye in anybody's book. Let's see. So I know Jersey, you and Ed and Butterflies are all about these flatheads, and so am I. I love the flatheads too. But anything else is okay to talk about. I won't tell anybody that you might have mentioned some other kind of fish. What else do I got? I don't want to make this about me, but I'm trying to get number 7. Get a 50-inch muskie. Well, I've done that. I got that checked off. Again, Stokoe Lake up in Ontario, Canada. I forget when it was, 2002. Again, I was fishing with my buddy Rick, and we were catching some pike, and I was throwing a big black and blue jig, hoping to get a big bass out of the lily pad field, and I was flipping it, and this big muskie come out from under some of the pads, grabbed my lure, took off like a freight train, and all I remember saying is, "This thing is huge. This thing is huge." I got pictures of that one too. Matter of fact, there's one right here on my wall. That's the 50-inch muskie. So I checked that off my bucket list. What's going on here? Maybe another bucket list item would be a pure strain. Well, I fished Lake Nakamixon over here in Pennsylvania, and they got pure strains and they got taggers, and you never know which one you're going to get. But I've caught a few pure strains, and I've also fished Lake St. Clair up in Michigan, and that place is full of pure muskies. Some of them have almost like a polka dot pattern on them. That lake is just full of muskies, but I've caught quite a few of them up there. And the channel cat over 20. Yeah. 18. That's a whopper. This thing will be at 20 by the time he's done eating in a couple of weeks. Yeah, Steve swears he had one close to 20 a couple of weeks ago. I got to believe the guy because I've seen some of the ones he catches. Although I did tell him he needs a scale because he's guessing, but he's a pretty good guesser. This is retracted. Be sure to hit that. Yeah, thank you. Please hit the like button and the share button and whatever other buttons are down there. I can't see it myself. And oh my God, a channel cat over 20 is going to be one heck of a fish. But they're probably in there. Yeah, Steve was there so early this morning, it was still dark. I had just gotten up. I put the computer on, and bam, there he was, standing there in the dark with his car headlights on. Wasn't long after that, I think about 9 o'clock or so, Bob rolled in. I got the name right. Oh, good. That's nice. I'll check that off my list. Got that right. I don't know where I picked it up from. I think somebody was using your proper name yesterday in one of the things. Yeah, Steve's dedicated. I can't believe that he can get up every day and do that. him and Bob. When I say Bob, I'm referring to Anyfin Is Possible. What a great channel. You guys all know that. Most of you know that. But he just goes and goes and goes every weekday. I don't know where he gets all his energy. He's a little younger than I, but still. Let's see if I got anything interesting on my bucket list. Fish some lakes, number 8. Fish some lakes in the south. Any of you guys ever been down south? I've been to Santee Cooper. I've been to Kerr Lake. I've been to Gaston, Toho down in Florida. Those places. Come on, you can't just stay homebound. You got to go someplace once in a while. Steve is dedicated. How many we got in here? We still got, what, 6 or 7? I wonder why I can't see that here someplace. Somebody should tell me how to do that. I don't see anything that would indicate how many people. Maybe my computer is lacking something. Yeah, I don't know. All I have is a button to end the stream. Do a couple other odds and ends here. Yeah, I don't see how many's in the chat. Somebody tell me how many's in the chat. Make me feel good. Got a new sticker today from Anyfin Is Possible. Right here, this one. He just made him up. He's giving them out. I think I was one of the first ones to get one. It's a small one, but it says Anyfin Is Possible. 6 right now. I had 8. Ooh, it's a record. It's still early. I was so happy to see Steve get that. Oh, you were watching, Jersey? I sleep very late. And so he caught that as soon as Bob pulled up. So I was over at the next spot, and I heard Steve making a big commotion, and I saw Bob running from his car down there. Bob did net the thing, and Steve showed it on his live broadcast. Bob put it back in the net and took it down to the water and released it, which I took a video of. It was a real nice fish with a big gut. As soon as he pulled it up out of the water, I told him, I said 12 pounds. And I was right within a couple ounces. 6? Yeah, 6 in. That's good. Thank you. Thanks, Georgie. Thanks for keeping me informed. I don't know why they don't let you see that here. You'd think you'd be able to see that. It don't really matter. Anyway. Time flies when you're having fun. It's 6:38 already. No, 6:58. Okay, 6:58. That makes sense. I've been on 6:30. Okay, don't worry, Lynn. What's a building today? Yeah, Jersey, you had to do it. I was hoping I didn't have to go through that torture, but I'm sure talking to yourself for a half hour, an hour can get a little boring. So no, I'm not in a hurry. I just want to looking for ways to get the word out that I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to do it for right now. I think I'm going to try to do it once a week. I can't do it every day. That's just too much. I'll leave that to the younger guys, but I'm going to try to do it once a week. I will send out a notice of what I'm going to do. If anybody would like to bring up a subject to work with, fine. If not, we can just chat about anything that pops up, kind of like we're doing right here. We're almost above midday. However, I will look at my bucket list again, just to entertain you folks. Number 9, travel to Canada. Well, I've been to Canada quite a bit. Like I had said before, my buddy lives up in Canada, so I've been going there since 1981, probably. Funny, you've done a ton. You put it like that. Yeah, I've been up in Canada quite a bit. All these flag banners that you see in back of me are the some of the lakes that I have fished in and around, along with a few others. But all these lakes are on the Rideau Canal system, which is just a little bit north of Kingston. Well, pill time. I'll have to take them later. The Rideau Canal is full of the different lakes. It's all connected. Goes from Kingston all the way up to Ottawa. And those banners that you see there, Loon Lake and Clear Lake and Mosquito Lake and all that, that's all part of the Rideau Canal system. So I've been up there, almost every year, at least once. Spring for fishing, summer, some ice fishing. Bay of Quinte, which is right around Kingston. Any of you guys ever get to Canada? I don't have many catfish up there. That's probably why. Come on, somebody had to be in Canada. Maybe not. Traveled lots of places west and south, also islands, but not fishing. I'm fairly new to fishing. Third summer. Well, I'm glad you're getting into that, Linda, because when you do your traveling, even if you're not fishing, you're going to start thinking about, I bet you I'd like to fish there. I'd like to fish there. And that's how I do when I travel. I go, boy, I wish I had my fishing pole with me. You're going to start thinking like that. Even though you're not there to go fishing, you're going to start thinking about it. Not to fish, just the family vacation junk, like the falls. Niagara Falls. Probably you're talking about Niagara Falls. I lived up there for 2 years. Back in the 70s. What'd you do in Canada, Linda? Sightseeing, I guess? Family vacation junk. I love it. I don't like to go on any vacation if I can't at least go fishing someplace one of the days. Up to Maine or wherever the heck it is, I gotta take a couple fishing poles and a little bit of stuff. Went to the falls and also went over when you were in Detroit. Yeah. Niagara Falls is quite a place, and it's a very crowded tourist destination. The best way to see the falls, of course, you probably know, is from the Canadian side. If you were in Detroit, you probably went up to, I can't think of where you enter Canada. There's a bridge there that goes over to Canada, and then you go up farther and you can get in there that way. You'll fly in for, there you go. Now, Ed, I'll tell you what, I've always been wanting to do a fly in. I don't know why it's not on my bucket list. Maybe I'm getting too old to hope for that, but that would be something I could add on my bucket list. A fly in where they drop you off and say, see you in a week. You know, you got pike fishing and walleye fishing and bass and bears, all kinds of stuff. YouTube I follow that lives in Canada and does a lot of fishing. The channel is The Fishing Musician. I think I've heard of that one. Maybe I'll have to check it out later, but it kind of sounds familiar. Is he in Ontario or one of the other provinces? Flying for 8 years in a row, Ed. Holy mackerel. Walleye and northern pike. Yeah. Yeah, my coffee's getting cold. Mm. Anybody got a bucket? Anybody? I got a real bucket too. Keep my bucket list in there. One of the other things on my bucket list is to get a boat. So I've had a couple boats. Fun, fun, fun. One of the other things on my bucket list is to get rid of the boat. That's also fun. And you know, the old saying is the two best things about having a boat is when the day you get it and the day you get rid of it. And it can be a headache sometimes, but actually I'm sitting here thinking about getting another one just for the heck of it. I got a couple kayaks, but I don't know. We're thinking about a boat. I think I'm too old for that. Let's see. There's a YouTuber following. Actually, it's the Canadian fishing musician. Yeah, it sounds familiar, Jersey. I just can't remember if I've actually subscribed to him or not. Ah, there's the link. If you click on the link, it'll come up where you can go to that channel. It won't take you off of this one, but you can go to that channel, check it out real quick, and flip back to this one. It's kind of nice the way they've set that up. What else we got? All right, something else. Mount a few trophies. I've mounted a few trophies. I got my. You can probably see my 14-pound steelhead there. There's that Schuylkill River Rats shirt. Thank you very much, Ed. Anyway, I've got the steelhead mounted. I had a 30-pound king salmon and my 11-pound some ounce walleye. The king salmon I finally ended up giving to a tackle shop because it was too big for my wall. I don't know if they still have it or not. And I think I told you the walleye fell off the wall one day and broke in half. However, I still got my steelhead. He's alive and well on my wall. Any of you folks ever mount a fish? I've never seen a mount of a flathead catfish. That'd be something to do. Yeah, Jersey, they still got ice up in Canada. I know where my buddy lives in Westport, Ontario. They're still waiting for the ice to come off the lakes. He's saying it's not real safe to get out there now because they had a lot of snow. But yeah, most of the lakes are still ice covered, snow covered. Probably be at least a couple of weeks until they start breaking up in that area. And of course, farther north, you're gonna have ice up into April, well into April. I just have an aluminum John boat with oars. That's fine. Simple. That's what I want. I want a simple, no maintenance. I want like a 12, maybe a 14-foot. I don't need a motor. I'll do an electric motor, and that's all I need. Just to putt around. No maintenance. That's right. You got the right idea, Jersey. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Is find a real nice 12-foot. Yeah. I was lucky. Ed and a whole bunch of other people were ganged up one day down at the river there when Anyfin Is Possible was live, and a whole bunch of people kept coming. And I walked up, and Ed says, "What size are you?" And I looked like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Sure." I said, "Oh, large." And he said, "Here." It was great. That was really nice of him to do that. Thank you, Ed. Really appreciate it. I haven't worn it yet, but I have it hanging there for all to see. I'll probably put it on this summer when it gets warmer and enjoy it that way too. Get one of Ed's shirts. Yeah, in Jersey, did I tell you I got Bob got a new sticker out? I put it right here. any fin as possible. I don't know if you got one or not. I don't know if you heard me talking about it before. It's a simple sticker, but it's a sticker with the any fin as possible logo on it. It's pretty nice. So now I got to get a sticker. I need a sticker. Stickers are great. Nobody will ever turn down a sticker. You hand them a sticker, they'll take it right away. I even made, where the heck is it? I got a QR code. I have one posted on the back of my car, but if you hold your phone up to that, it'll take you right to my YouTube channel. That's kind of neat to do. And I got that on my business card as well, my QR code. When do you think you're going to get out for the flatheads, Ed? What's your timing on that one? Get your boat out in the river. What's that Jeopardy sound? Waiting for somebody to answer. Jersey, I think Ed sells them for $20. No, I don't think he sells them. Okay, what else is on my list? Now, if you're doing write a book about this stuff. I did. I wrote a book. Where is it? I wrote a book and published it myself. It's Fishing Fever. Got a whole bunch of fishing stories in it. It's a good book to put in your bathroom to read while you're doing your business. You know what I mean? Got a bunch of short stories in there. But see? I think I might have to give Ed one of these. Ed and butterflies. Got to get one for Bob too. All right, let's see. Right now, my guess is in a couple of weeks. Okay, yeah, I'd think so. Probably first or second week of April. We get a couple of nice warm days. This weekend is supposed to get way up in the 70s, and I think probably a little warmer after that. So maybe things will start getting better. You can win them on the show by guessing. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Only problem with that is you got to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning. Oof, that's tough. I've tried. But it's worth it. It's a nice shirt. What else we got? One of the other things on my bucket list is catch a lake trout. I tried for years and years and years to catch a lake trout. And finally, a couple years ago, up in Canada, ice fishing, my buddy took me to a lake. Said there's lake trout in here, and darn if I got 2 that day. Actually, one of them on my videos, or if you go back far enough on the videos, it's on the. I got the whole catch and release on video. Yeah, but it's 4 o'clock. Did I ever give you one of my? Yes, I got it right. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right up here. Right there, and then right above that is Ed's sticker. That's a real nice sticker. Where did you get that made, Linda? Because I was looking around today as to where you get it made, and I know Bob's looking for somebody local to make stickers for him. I usually do my stuff on a site called Zazzle, Zazzle. You can do all kinds of stuff. Business cards and stickers and all kinds of stuff. So again, where do you get your sticker made? I got one thing on my bucket list I haven't done yet. Right on the bottom. Go to Florida for bonefish. I would love to go down there in the flats and go for bonefish with a guide. I am going down to Florida this year for vacation, but I'm going on the Gulf Coast side. I don't know if there's bonefish over there or not. I think that's going to be mostly redfish and drum and that kind of stuff. So we'll have to see how that goes. Yeah, I've won a few decals, sinkers, and tackle that way. Super. Okay, just checking Bobcat made mine. Bobcat. I don't know him. We got our Hatcham, yeah. There's something else I'd like to get done again. I had Hatch made a long time ago, and the little shop that did that is long gone. ASAP. That's right. I think Ed told me. I'll have to check that out. So let me write that down. ASAP, ASAP. He told me that last week when we were down there, and I forgot to check it out. And that's for the shirts. Yeah, I'll check that out. Bobcat from our catfish community makes our stickers. Where is Bobcat? What state's he in? Is he around here, or is he somewhere else, or does he have a website? That's a nice little sticker he made you. Stickers made in 19 by a company called Sticker Mule. Yeah, there's a lot of you go on Google and say, where can I make a sticker, and there's a bunch of places that come up, and most of them are pretty good. ASAP does hats too, but the girls is better. Yeah. Sticker Mule. I'll check that out too. He's from Tennessee. Okay. Does he have a website? I'm taking notes here. Is Wendy still on here? I know Wendy came in, but hasn't had a lot to say, but I just wonder if she's still on. Mr. John Barker did design my sticker for me, and Bobcat made them. Aha. This part was when stickers arrived. There was a bottle of their hot sauce. Cool. Great hot sauce. Yeah, if you're a connoisseur of hot sauce, you can find some good stuff if you look around enough. I haven't seen Wendy lately, but you're up to 7 again. Up to 7. All right. That's a record. I think last week we had 6. So there you go. Bobcat. Yeah, if you, Linda and Ed, if you weren't on when I mentioned it, I'm going to try to do something similar to this once a week. Can't do it every day. But I'm going to try to pick out some type of subject to do once a week. And as you can see today, we're doing okay without really getting into the subject of the bucket list too much. So wherever the chat takes us is where we're going to go. But I'll try to at least get a theme for the start of it. Pick something out of my fishing fever book. Do it that way. Let's see. Oh, there it is. YouTube Bob. All right, let me click on that. Let me subscribe to him. And okay, now I'm subscribed to him, and I'll go check that out later on. Bobcat Outdoors. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you putting that up there. Channel activity. What's going on here? Oh, there it goes. I'm still finding stuff on this chat that makes you like, what does that do? Every day is too much. A lot of people burn out on it. Yeah, I don't know how Bob does it. He's just Bob and Steve, but especially Bob gets it every day, no fail. And he puts up with whatever the weather is. Like today, I know he was out there. He was freezing, but he hung in there. He stayed there till 2 o'clock and then wrapped it up. But he puts himself through some tough times, but he runs a really, really good channel. Keeps everybody engaged, and it's good. I like watching him. Of course, he's better in person, but watching him on the channel is great. You know what, Jersey? I'm going to be careful. Yes, I'm going to be careful about that. I don't want to try to hog in on what Bob and Steve are doing. So I wouldn't do it there probably. I might do it somewhere else. But yeah, it looks interesting. I did buy a tripod, for my phone. I got a battery charger. I'm all set up. I just don't want to hog in on what Bob and Steve are doing. I think it would be a bit much. Every day's rough. That's on my shows anyway. Yeah. Linda. Yeah, you have good support there, Ed. You really do. I don't know how Linda stays up all night with you. Anyway, yeah, once a week. Anyway, I'm going to try to start that. See if it goes. And I will be sending out prior notification of when it's going to be and what the theme is going to be. And again, the theme does not have to be followed, but I gotta at least have some place to start. Plus, there are so many lives, it gets hard to support them all, especially if they all go. Yeah. So right now. See, last time I did it last week I think it was like at noontime or something. So then I realized, well, hell, a lot of people are probably at work and stuff. So now I picked out Wednesday, 6:30. I figured people will be home. It'll probably be after dinner for most of them, and they'll be able to tune in if they'd like. So that might be working. Anthony, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being here. We're talking about everything in the world, but we're talking about fishing bucket lists. Yeah. I'm sure I've seen your name on Bob's on the Anyfin is Possible, and again, I appreciate you coming in. If you got a bucket list and there's something on there that you want to throw out there for us to dissect, we will throw it out there, Anthony. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the like button too. I think that somehow that counts. I don't know. Maybe that makes 8 people. Does that make 8 people now on here? Or did somebody leave? I'm going to be on till 7:30, and it's 7:24. So I kind of figured an hour would be plenty, unless it continues to be interesting like this. But I got stuff to do. Anthony, you got to give me one thing off your bucket list. Something you've done or something you got to do. That's required. Because I got a crappy attitude. B&S, that must be butterflies and sunshine. Yeah, that's a good way to abbreviate it. YouTube likes to see involvement. That helps. Oh, yeah. I guess so. Anyway, if I get anything else on my bucket list to get a nod. One of the things, and I don't want this to be about myself, but one of the things on here was fish with someone famous. And I've had been very fortunate to do just that. I fished with and actually guided for Doug Stange from In-Fisherman. I took him on me and a couple other guys took him on an ice fishing trip up to Canada in 1992 or 3, and he actually wrote about it. He wrote about that trip in the In-Fisherman magazine. That was fantastic. But Doug Stange there, another one of the editors, was Matt Straw. We took him out. If you know the name Tony Portencaso, I have fished with him. He's passed away, but he was one of the guys that used to write for and edit Fishing Facts magazine way back when. I have 8. Thank you, butterflies. I appreciate you keeping me informed. Hit the lottery. No kidding. Yep, I play it every week. One of these days. The best I've done. A couple weeks ago, I had a scratch-off ticket that I got $200. That was kind of nice. But we keep playing it one of these days. That's a good one, Ed. I like that. That should be on everybody's bucket list. Life would be complete. Erie, Superior, and Michigan. Anthony, that's some big water there, and you've probably been fishing for steelhead and trout and lake trout and all that kind of stuff, right? Maybe walleyes on where you been? Michigan? On Lake Erie, walleyes. Superior, Michigan, I think, is mostly the trout stuff. Am I right, Anthony? What are you fishing for up there? Smallies. Oh, I forgot about them. Yeah, Lake Ontario and all those. Yeah, they have all the Great Lakes. Good smallie fishing. I said before I fished Lake St. Clair, which is right up near Detroit. And yeah, it's full of walleyes, full of big smallmouth. Fantastic. Fishing Facts, yes. Yeah, I think we all were back in the day. Back in the 70s and 80s. Fishing Facts. Get it every month, and I read it front to back. That and In-Fisherman magazine. Bass was another one. But yeah, Fishing Facts was a good, simple fishing magazine. It really taught a lot of people something about something. Something about what they wanted. But Tony Portencaso was one of the main guys. Perch. Yeah. We used to have some good perch fishing around here. It's going to hell. I mean, it's going to heck. Excuse me. Walleye Insider. There you go. Yep. That was kind of a spin-off of In-Fisherman. My buddy that lives up in Canada was on the cover of Walleye Insider one month. I forget what month it was. I might even have a copy of that magazine someplace. I met Ron. I met Ron Linder one day. I went up to Minnesota, up to Brainerd, and I walked in their office and I asked if any of the Linder boys were around. And Ron took time to come downstairs and talk with me for a few minutes. That was nice. What's his brother's name? I guess I'm losing it. Ron Linder and shoot. senior moment. Sorry. Field and Stream, Sports Afield. I grew up with them. Hell yes. Outdoor Life was my favorite. There's Eagle Lake near Dryden. I haven't been to Eagle Lake. I don't think I've ever heard of that. I'm sure it's probably a good one. The Catfish Insider magazine. That's got to be an in-fisherman deal too, doesn't it? But talking about the Field and Stream, Sports Afield, and Outdoor Life, they were magazines that I grew up with in the 70s and 80s, and even before that in the 60s when I was still a teenager reading those magazines. They were great. What a good subject that is. Catfish Insider magazine comes out once a year. Anthony, I still use. Oh yeah. Once in a while you can dig them out and see if you can remember some of the stuff they're telling you and talking about. Absolutely. Sometimes it's good to do something that you haven't done for a long time because the fish haven't seen it for a long time. Okay, I tell you what, folks, I'm going to wrap this up in another minute or two. It's past 7:30. We've done an hour. I appreciate everybody in. I appreciate you coming in, joining in the chat, and talking. And like I said, I will pick out some type of theme for next week. I'll put out a notice 2 or 3 days in advance that what it's going to be about, and what it'll be, and we'll do this again. And we've been talking about everything, including the bucket list, but everything else too, and I think it was great. And among the Catfish Conservation Club in the UK, that puts out a fantastic annual magazine out there, Wells Catfishing. Yeah, one of the guys was talking about the Wells Catfish. Who was it? Jose? Let's see, I remember seeing my dad get Field and Stream. Oh yeah, they've been around for a few minutes. And whatever. Okay, Anthony, thank you very much. I'll be more on time next time then. Yeah, hey, appreciate that. Bring somebody with you, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Len. Great job. Thanks for the encouragement. I appreciate that. We'll do it again for sure. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. Everybody have a good night. Tight lines. See you next time.